You have to stay updated and follow industry news, subscribe to newsletters, subscribe to anything that's relevant to your field. When it comes to that learning, in order to understand how you might be able to grow the marketing side of your business, you need to go and learn about it. You've got to pay to play. If you want to get here, it's going to take some money. If you want to fast track your fitness journey, get a personal trainer. If you want to fix your diet, get a nutritionist. If you want to build your business quickly, get a business coach. How do you build your network? You've got to attend these key events. You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. Just watch the content, learn the content, write it down. But I would also recommend...
Time to get fired up. Yeah, I'm getting fired up.
Your thoughts can become plans. Plans can become actions. And actions become a reality. We share powerful stories and simple steps to fast track your business and personal growth. Are you ready to make it happen? Let's get fired up. Welcome back. Is your first response for business or personal growth, but I don't know how? Have you ever wondered what separates top performers from the rest? Do you want some direction into the 5 essential pillars that can elevate you to new heights? Good news. Today's episode will dive into knowledge, skills, network, resources, and reputation. From mastering continuous learning and skill stacking to build a powerful network and leveraging the best resources, we'll explore actionable strategies that can help you stand out and succeed. If you're aiming for business and personal growth, this episode will equip you with the insights and tips to transform your potential actually into performance. Let's jump in, and do make sure you save this video so you can come back to it and revisit the 5 key buckets that we're going to cover. Remember this: your thoughts and goals become plans. Plans become actions, and actions can become a reality as long as you apply consistent execution. At the end of this episode, we'll let you know how you can get your free resources and templates to actually get this in place with the 30-day challenge. Okay, let's dig into the buckets. Many speakers I've gone to see who use this analogy in theory focus very much on the first 2 buckets, because without those, you cannot actually start to fill the last 3. So we're going to go through each one of these and actually give you some insights and ways in which you can actually go and build these out to fill them up. So the first one is knowledge. Knowledge is about continuous learning. Regularly reading books, attending workshops, taking online courses, anything that's relevant to your field. You have to stay updated and follow industry news, subscribe to newsletters, subscribe to bloggers, engage with professional people, and stay informed about the latest trends. It's super important so that you're constantly leveling up and filling that bucket to understand more knowledge about the thing you are trying to prove. There is also cross-disciplinary learning. So expand your knowledge by learning about related fields, which can provide new perspectives and innovative ideas. A story which Stephen Bartlett spoke about when I went to his conference was about a boxing champion over in the UK. Very good boxer, but wanted to actually skill stack himself to improve on the areas where he felt weak. And where he felt weak was actually in his footwork. So guess what this guy did? This guy stepped out of boxing for 4 years and went and did 4 years of dance classes. So you would think, why is he doing dance classes when he should be working with a boxing coach to work on his uppercuts and his footwork? The thing is that the skills that he learned through the dancing classes and workshop actually gave him much better ability to move on his feet. He showed a video, and you can probably find this on YouTube, of the guy boxing before dance classes and then boxing after dance classes. And the transformation is huge. It's hilarious. This guy is literally swimming out of the way, ducking, bobbing, and weaving because he was used to doing these classes of using the top of his toes to swivel around and turn. And this person just cannot punch him at all. So the reason I'm saying this is because I think when it comes to that learning, in order to understand how you might be able to grow the marketing side of your business, you need to go and learn about the AI side of the business. In order to understand the financial numbers, you might need to understand the financial economy. So you need to be looking at bits and pieces that are actually complementary to what you are doing. Okay? Other ways to include and build your knowledge is actually by going to industry events which might be relevant. There's 2 points to this. One is what they will be talking about could be really valuable for what you want to learn. I went to one last month. It was an AI summit. It was about a 2-hour session. It was on Saturday night from 8 till 10. The reason I'm telling you that is because it's late. I don't want to. I'm tired. Bullshit. Put that aside. Take the opportunity and just dig in and put the time into these things you want to learn. I came away from that session after 2 hours, wrote down the key points, wrote down what I needed to implement, went home and did that, and the results have been extraordinary. So you will learn stuff, and maybe 90% of what they talk about is irrelevant, but it will be that 10% or 1 or 2 things that really you can actually take and apply. Here's the other thing. When you go to an industry event or seminar, you're not in the room by yourself. You're in the room with tens, hundreds, sometimes thousands of other people. So guess what? You're dressed up in your merch, you got your business cards, you've got your elevator pitch, you go and have the coffee break and someone's like, oh, cool, fired up. What's that about? Great. Tell you my story, tell you my pitch. Now he tells someone that story. Now we're actually interacting and networking. This is what happened to me with Mick, who was on the show. Like, we just run around the same neighborhood together. And after we had a quick conversation on the side of the road, he's written a book called Brave Enough to Change. His book comes with great skills and ideas on how to enforce change. He comes on the podcast. You guys like what he says. You read his book, buy his book. It all connects, but you need to spread by focusing on building the knowledge. Some people like to read books, some people don't. Doesn't matter how you do it, because there's every option for this. You can do audio books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can follow YouTube podcasts. Whatever avenue works best for you and whatever time structure works best for you. It's in the car, it's when I'm on runs, it's in the mornings. I do that on Saturdays. Find what works for you, but absolutely build that into the equation. You've heard sayings before, knowledge is power. It is. You need to have the knowledge so that you can reinforce your value proposition. You need to build that knowledge so that you're always leveling up. What I find works really well is if you can, and you might know some of these people, but again, this is why we built the Fired Up community. So there are people in there who have these specialties and skills. But when I was going through the fitness transition and I actually wanted to work on a specific type of fitness and structure for my exercise routine, I went to a good friend of mine called Ross, who is a super athlete. Now, I've got no desire to be a super athlete or be the Ironman or triathlon champion, and he's done some of these things extremely well. But because his knowledge in that space is so in depth over many, many years, if I ask him, hey, how would I do this? How should I do that? What's the right weight for this? How can I apply that without getting injured? This guy knows. So I've been able to go direct to the source of the specialist to give me the advice and recommendations on that specific thing. Go to people who are the specialist in what you are trying to unpack and understand, and ask a ton of questions. They're more than happy to share, and you're pulling from the advice of people who have done it and who do it well. Bucket number 2 that you need to focus on filling is your skills. So once you've got the knowledge and you're working on that knowledge, that never stops. Now you can apply that knowledge into skills. Remember how I said previously, the first time you do anything is going to suck. The first social post, the first podcast, the first client meeting, the first client email, all of those things are not going to be good. That's okay, because anytime anyone does something for the first time, it's not good. You're not unique. This is just how it is. But once we learn, we then need to apply. How do you learn? So apart from filling the knowledge and using specialists, maybe you need a coach, maybe you need a mentor, maybe you need a consultant, because those types of things, which most people will generally go to use if they want to be better at something, can fast track you to it. They know the loopholes, they know the obstacles. That's what Fired Up is about. We help people fast track because we know that person can do the website for you, that person can do the marketing for you. These are the books, these are the tools, let's go quick. I'm stuck. No, you're not. Here's the guide to get you through it. I'm stuck. No, you're not. Talk to the community. They'll help you through it. So building those skills, you now need to actually apply them. How do you work on skills? You practice regularly. Set aside time, stay updated, follow industry news, subscribe to journals, follow the professional blogs, take those skills and actually put it into place. Seek mentorship. Find mentors who can provide insights, feedback, and guidance based on their experience. These don't have to be friends, of course. In fact, sometimes it's better than they're not. Maybe it's people you've worked with in the past. Maybe it's people that you know. Reach out to them and say, look, let's connect. Maybe there's a cross collaboration there where I can get some advice from you. You can tell me how that's worked, and here's what I can do for you. Share those things so that you can actually build your skills. There's hard skills and there's soft skills. And I think soft skills is around, the communication. It's around your ability to build relationships. It's your ability to be engaging. It's your ability to be authentic and that type of thing. But hard skills, particularly if you're in a hands-on kind of business or you are providing advice and solutions for things that are really specific, you have to try and get to be the best in that space. And you can't be the best for everything, but if you niche down, which you can do in this environment, in this world, you don't need to be everything to everybody. You see those really narrow niche businesses are the ones that actually provide direct value to the person based on demographic, problem, experience, and everything else that can fall into it. Okay? In terms of the skills, always try and engage with the things that are happening locally, because getting that physical conversation, that physical connection is always going to be helping you as well. I gave you the example of the boxer who went and did dancing lessons. Think about skill stacking and find out, ask yourself and ask other people, what do you think I need to improve on if I'm going to go down this path or tackle this? Personal story for me, I was kind of nominated to coach my son's soccer team this year. I've never been a coach before. I've never dealt with a group of kids. I had to quickly go and work out what are the training programs, what are the drills, how can I keep control of this group, how can I interact with 10-year-olds when I've spent the last 30 years interacting with business people and other, kind of corporate environment stuff. So learn, and then just implement and try. Skill stacking is around skills that complement each other. So if you need to kind of work out, for a trades business, for example, if we are applying, painting to people's homes, maybe the other skill is interior design. What is the interior design that actually applies? And go into some of those events and go and research some of that stuff. Go and look at product development and tools that other people are using, which can then, apply that in a different way or put that up in a different manner as well. Bucket number 3 is your network. I find that literally whenever we are confronted with a problem or need support or who should I go to, that's the first place we go, right? You probably see this on Facebook all the time, particularly on the local pages. Looking for an electrician, has anyone got any recommendations? Bang, 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 bang. That's just one concept of a network. It's not your network, but it's people using specific groups to ask for recommendations for things. People, you might have heard the saying, your network is your net worth. You will find it very easy to actually go to people who run businesses, who have the contacts, who have the reach, who have the money, who have the advice. That's really what you want to expand and extend on. How do you build your network? This was a real big challenge for me in certain aspects. I'll tell you how I got to that point. When you're working in a company, that is your network. Obviously, everybody in that group is your network for you to reach out to them in their specialist place within that organization. Then you've got your customers. They are also part of your network. Then you've got suppliers. They're also part of your network. But once you have that structure in place, it is very rare that you have to go and put an ad out to the greater world to say, can anybody help me with this? You can go directly to your network. LinkedIn is great for it. Facebook is great for it. But in terms of expanding that, and particularly when you might be moving into a space that you haven't before, which means you don't have these network specialists in your group, that's where you got to go a bit outside your comfort zone, right? One of the biggest fears for me was networking events. I can't stand them because it just feels so artificial and it feels uncomfortable and a bit weird to walk around a room shaking people's hands. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Great. And it just felt like this is just a waste of time. If I could cut directly to the person I really wanted to talk to, I would have done that and probably enjoyed the conversation more anyway. But when you're growing or building a business, the good news is you can actually be yourself. Whereas when you go to a networking event and you're working for a company, you have to be who we want you to be and say what we want you to say and go to these things that you don't want to go to because that's your job and that's what we pay you for. So the reason that I think it's become less uncomfortable for me is because I can turn up to these things being my authentic self. I'm talking about something that I love and I'm passionate in. I love telling the story about what we do and how we help people. And I love talking to people who are giving me insight and value from what they do for it. So how do you do that? You've got to attend these key events. Just go to them, do them. You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. Just watch the content, learn the content, write it down. But I would also recommend give yourself this challenge as well when you do go to an event. I'm going to introduce myself to 3 people tonight. And if nothing comes from it, who cares? If they don't want to talk, who cares? If they don't like what I've got to say, who cares? If our businesses don't connect, who cares? Just the 3, and then the 3, and then the 3, and then the 3. And what you'll find, based on the law of averages and swinging that bat and swinging that bat, is one day you'll say, hi, I'm Ben. How are you? I run this company. And they go, oh, wow. I'd actually love to have you come and speak at our, business, our seminar, because that's what people need to hear. Great. What do you guys do? Well, we're marketing and event specialists. Cool. So if I wanted to run an event, could you help me with that? We could. And you'll see that it actually starts to work. So you have to not care about the failure, about the rejection, about the objection, and just focus on the number. So participate in industry conferences, go to seminars, join the online webinars, go to the networking events. Like I said, my goal this month, 2 webinars, 1 event. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll find it. That number will be ticked off because it's there and I see it. I'm now looking for the what do I need to go to? Out of all of the choices that are in front of me, what do I need to go to that's going to help me? Join professional organizations, become a member of relevant professional groups to access regular networking opportunities. There is a company out there or an association or a network who has got the customers that you want, who has got the people going to these things that you want to connect with. In my other business, one of the best things I did was partner with one of Australia's largest mining publications, because their audience, their subscribers, their clients, their advertisers are the clients that I want. Took the leap, took the test, and starts coming the sales and business. Great. Now we've got the business coming in. Let's talk to those clients. What did you think? How can we do better? What else would you be interested in? Would like this, Ben. Would like that. That sounds great. But hey, thanks for the call. None of our suppliers call us and ask us what we think. And that's going to lead us to reputation, which I'm going to cover off in the next bucket. But there's a couple more. In terms of your network, utilize social media. Ask people, just ask the question, can you give me this? Can you point me in the right direction? What are the chances you could post this on your social? What are the chances you'd come speak on my podcast? Would you like me to do this for you? If I gave you this, can you give me that? If you just go through that process, you'll be so surprised at how many people are actually willing to help you, and vice versa, how you can actually help them and create value together. We talk about like LinkedIn and everything else like that. Yes, it's all good stuff. Just be wary of the platform that you're using and the type of information that you're putting there. Offer help. We just touched on this, but do focus on building genuine connections by offering to help others for no cost, for free, because I want to, because I think I can add value there. Do offer to do that. You'll be surprised what comes from it. Maintain your network by regularly reaching out. This can be really simple stuff, and it's just about, again, recency and frequency. Facebook and other things like that can often tell you, hey, it's this person's birthday today. Maybe you see a photo, they've just had a baby. Maybe you see a photo that this company's just gone on a resort seminar over in Fiji. Simple reach out message. Hey guys, saw you had a company seminar in Fiji. Looks like an awesome time and a great event. That's fantastic. It's just popping your name up. It's popping your business back up in front of them. It's engaging. It's sitting there saying, hey, I'm a fan. I'm a supporter. And then you watch what happens is that creates that ecosystem again. So when you put your thing out and say, looking for this, looking for that, looking for advice, again, we're generating engagement. We're generating those things for a community. It's not about being everything to everyone, but if it's getting in front of thousands of eyeballs, that can convert into 10 new members on the group, 1 new client, 5 new followers, 2 new subscribers. You have to get the law of averages and the momentum out there to get that. Bucket number 4 is resources. Now, the reason that the first 3 buckets are more important because you actually have to go through all of that and fill those up before resources are going to come into the equation for you. So what are resources? It is everything from your tools, your platforms, your financial situation, your capital resources. As you build that out, it gives you the ability to do more or do better or expand further and faster. Takes money to make money. There's no doubt about that. You've got to pay to play. If you want to get here, it's going to take some money. If you want to fast track your fitness journey, get a personal trainer. If you want to fix your diet, get a nutritionist. If you want to build your business quickly, get a business coach. Find someone who can help you do what you want to do. And it is going to require money to do that. So if your current resources are lacking, present a case. Maybe like you can find those resources that you need for free or co-collaboration with another partner or another customer or another contact from your network. Spend money wisely based on what you want to achieve at the quality you want to achieve it and the speed that you want to do it. Because again, we can't just take the money and put an equal amount everywhere. We want to be able to put the focus of that funding into the thing that's going to produce the best ROI. Think about the efficiency. So when it comes to efficiency, how do I do stuff quickly? How do I consolidate? How do I use the platforms that exist to make it way more simple? Now, there's a software platform out there for everything now, which I'm sure you are aware of, but start with the free stuff. Start with the free trials in terms of Google for document management, Google for storage, Google for chat, Google for meetings. Then you can move into paid platforms that are specific to your audience. One of my clients recently just invested quite a bit of money for their business, which actually does everything for them that they used to do manually. Scheduling jobs, automation of quotes, automation of communication, tracks supplies and inventory, tracks margins on cost. They just bought back a whole ton of time and they're actually building value through the business by building this thing out. So if it ever does come to an exit, guess what you're buying? The database, the tools, the systems, the process. You can buy this business and run it under management. That's very attractive when people are going out there to acquire or merge. That's what you want in place. You have to do it, I think, in terms of investing in tools and resources. Where I have been stuck in the past with this is I've got 20 different options. Everyone says they're great. Everyone says they've got the solution. This is when I'd come back to the network or the Fired Up group or your local networks and go, guys, this is what I'm trying to achieve. What do you recommend and why? Because everybody's going to have a different solution, but find that person who might be doing something similar to you and how you can relate that. Okay, invest in personal development. I know there's a lot of free content out there. I know that there's a YouTube video for literally everything, but you will get more value from actually investing into courses, investing into programs, investing into coaches and mentors, and investing into those things that are going to help you through with this. Think about it. That's why it exists, right? That there is a coach literally for every type of thing that you want to do out there in the marketplace. The reason people go with coaches and consultants is because it's faster. I'm dealing with the best of the best. They have done this. They have proven it. They've got the credentials and the credibility to apply to what I want to achieve. So I can take the slow, costly road and try and figure it out on my way, or follow one of these million YouTube videos, or I can go straight to the source, pay to play. That investment, it can be hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they see the return. They see the value of going, if I invest in that, this is going to give me the return faster, quicker, so I can avoid the obstacles and the pitfalls to get there. So what I do and what you should do is, even if you're working for a job or you've got a business, what is the allocation, the percentage of your income that you are going to redirect into personal development? Whether it's health, fitness, business coaching, marketing, whatever it is, you need to actually do that and stick to it. It's the best money you'll ever spend. If you go to our website, there's a blog, Elderly People, What They Regret as They Get to the Last Stages of Their Life. It is all about, I wish I'd followed my dream. I wish I'd have taken a crack at that job. I wish I'd have done this and everything else. But if you actually come back, you want to be, they're not talking about all the parties they went to, the amount of money that they spent on their furniture and their car and their furnishings in their house. It's about the things that they learned and developed along the way. So it is a must. And again, people who have done this do it forever. People who haven't done it, as soon as they try, now they get it. Now it becomes part of the day-to-day. The last bucket to cover off here is your reputation. Now, your reputation comes from a number of areas, but if we come back to some of the stuff we were talking about earlier in other episodes, is if someone went out to the network and said, who is the best business coach that can help me scale and grow this business in the next 60 days, you want them to say your name. And they will say that based on their true lived experience of what you have delivered. I think people do become quite brand loyal once they get to a point of going, I love this. It's good value for money. It delivers what I want it to do. Why would you go anywhere else? We have repeat customers coming back time and time again because it does make you a bit nervous to go somewhere new when the current thing is really good. So how do you build a great reputation? You need to deliver quality work consistently. Provide high quality stuff, good communication, good follow-up, good support, and over-deliver on what you are promising to give them as part of your service. It is those things that people talk about, and you have a reputation for getting shit done, for doing it well. So when people are asked, that's where they go to for the next steps. Be reliable. Nothing worse than being unreliable. For me personally, the most frustrating industry I've dealt with over the last 5 years is the trades industry. I think they've been too busy, too many jobs, and they like kind of pick and choose, right? But even when if you're lucky, they turn up on time. If you're lucky, they clean up the mess after them. All of these things has become a little bit of a I don't care factor, but the reputation will get out there. So when the market does change and it does get a little bit harder to compete for this business, you're going to be in real trouble. So it's about building that reputation. I know the guys who came here and did a patio here a couple of years ago, 4 of my friends have bought from that company simply because I said, turned up on time, awesome job, cleaned up, kept me communicated. It was so smooth. And they're like, I can't even get a response from these other guys. I was like, stop trying, go to these ones. They did it, same experience. Now that just creates babies as everyone starts talking about this business. In terms of reputation as well, being reliable, turn up on time, do things well, do it properly, and then people will start to go, I just want the path of least resistance to get what I want to get done. My last point on reputation is if you are trying to tell people that you are a specialist in what you do, that your company or business does provide great things, that you can help people with A, B, C, D, the only way to do that is to get the message out there. So deliver the content, whatever way you believe that is the best to do it, get it out there and tell people what you can do, how you can help. The reputation is going to come from your customers going, what they said, they did. What they promised, they delivered plus some. And that reputation can take you to amazing high grounds when it's coupled with your network, your resources, your skills, and your knowledge. If you want to think about one person who has all 5 of these buckets overflowing, is Elon Musk. He can do absolutely anything based on the fact that he has the knowledge, the skills, the resources, the network, and the reputation. If Elon drops a post out tomorrow that says he is going to bring out this new product, people will be throwing investor money at him. Customers will be signing up on the waiting list because he has built a reputation. He has the skills and knowledge and the credentials that actually stand behind that. Imagine yourself getting to that point. Start with the first 2 buckets, continually focused on building the other 3, and you will be set for building and growing an awesome business with a great group of people. Stick around for future episodes where we're going to actually start to bring in some more guests that can narrow down into the finances and the marketing. And always, please go to the Fired Up Facebook group and ask your questions there. There's a ton of people who can feed in to help you fill these buckets and get you moving along as quick as possible. Go make it happen. We'll catch you later. If you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe on YouTube or follow our podcast on your favorite platform. We drop a new episode every week. You'll be doing us a massive favor. If you know someone that would benefit from listening to this, then share it with them. You'll be doing them a massive favor. And if you want the tips, tools, and resources to support you on this journey, then join our exclusive Facebook community and follow our socials. You'll be doing yourself a massive favor.